Taking his time. We are live. Hey, folks. This is the workshop, episode 180. Welcome. My name is Keller Reeves, as you can see on the little screen underneath. Today we have Kevin A. Escobar. Did I say it right?
Yes. It's not that hard.
Okay. I don't know. Yeah. Well, why don't you tell us a bit about yourself? We'll move on.
I'm a Spanish, English-speaking comedian in New York City, and fuck coronavirus. Yeah. That's pretty much it.
Okay, Elizabeth, how about you?
Hey, reporting live from the closet.
Hey. Awesome. What town? What city in? Do you mind me asking?
Oh yeah, I'm in Hoboken.
Hoboken.
Jersey.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that from some movie or something like that. Hey, I don't think I'm going to say this name right, but Sones, is that saying the right? Sones.
Yeah, that's right. Sones. That's right. Sones. Hi, I'm all the way from Japan in Tokyo, where my house is the size of Elizabeth's closet. I'm hoping that delay isn't, the transcontinental delay, or I'm just hoping that Elizabeth is slightly lagging.
I think Elizabeth is slightly lagging, but it's okay. Well, like I said, my name is Keller Reeves. I'm out of Chilliwack, Canada, British Columbia, Canada, outside of Vancouver, sort of thing. Yeah. It's hard to explain, but I can't say I'm from Vancouver. I'm like an hour and a half away, so it wouldn't make sense.
Oh, okay. So, just say Canada. I don't know. Regardless.
There's some Canadians that would be upset by that if I didn't say specifically where I'm from. It's one of those things.
Yo, where are you from, cuz? Where are you from?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, how about we, since we're running late, we'll kick this off. We're waiting for the normal host, but it's not that big of a deal. I think we'll just move on with him. Kevin, what was your subject? What was your
chocolate? Delicious chocolate.
Oh, not that one. I don't know how to make you on screen here.
It's fine. No one wants to see my tired face anyway. All right, so chocolate. Oh man. So a few days ago I was actually constipated, and so my fiance gave me some I refused to take laxatives, but she gave me some chocolate because she knows I love chocolate, like a dog, just to hide it in my treats and my food. So later that night we had an argument because Kevin, why did you clog the toilet? That's mostly our fight. Some other people are like, oh, you got this other bitch pregnant? All right, bye. I'm breaking up with you. Our arguments are, why did I clog the toilet? Why did I clog the sink? It's like, because I clogged the toilet in the first place, so I have to go use the sink, right? I'm 6'4", by the way, so I can reach the sink nicely. I've been to Japan when I was like 6 feet tall, and I barely fit anywhere, so I'm claustrophobic, so I don't think I can, head out there.
That's what happened to your hair? The typical white man in Japan syndrome?
I got scared, yeah. They called me White Godzilla, actually, when I met some locals and went bar. It was weird. Anyway, this has nothing to do with chocolate.
But I get it.
Right. Anyway, chocolate. All right, so I was thinking of this. All right, guys, or any fellow vagina lovers, do we know we know how much power women have over us, right? It depends. For example, if on Valentine's Day you don't get them flowers or chocolate, they get mad at you. So on past Valentine's Day, I asked my fiance, so where's my flowers or chocolate? She got mad at me. So later that night, she didn't give me any of her flour or her chocolate. So, yeah. But look, I just want to tell you guys this: a strong relationship are like, butt cheeks. You have to keep them together, even though there's a bunch of crap trying to tear you apart. All right. All right. So chocolate. All right. This is a true story. I told this once on stage before, and it was a bunch of people threw up, but here we go. All right. So I was 17 years old. I went to an ex-girlfriend's house. We were a little, under the influence or whatnot, and she wanted to try butt stuff, right? So, I'm trying to. She didn't know she had to clean it first, stretch it out, all that stuff. But I'm all in there, and you hear the macaroni and cheese sound, and I'm wearing like a see-through condom, right? And I pull out, and it's all brown with like a piece of lettuce on it. And then and the first thing that comes out of my mouth is I say, "Fudge pickles," and then I throw up on her back. I remember that vividly. I'm 31 years old, and I was 17, and I remember that vividly. Now, so yeah, after that, I just ran out of there and never saw her again. I don't know what happened to her. Maybe she's dead. Maybe she's in boarding. They sent her to boarding school. I don't know. And what is French cat's favorite treat? A chocolate meows. All right, that's all. That's all I got.
Okay.
Oh,
Good job,
man.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I messed up and didn't explain what was going on to the viewers before we started here. So what we do is we the
What stuff?
workshop. Yeah, exactly. At the workshop, we all get a subject and we write about it, and then we come and perform it 3 to 5 minutes, and then later we do our own comedy 3 to 5 minutes, and then we critique each other. So, would anybody like to critique Kevin right now?
Critique or give supportive, constructive feedback. Like, you suck, come on. I had enough of that as a child. Like, do I really need any more of that? Because I just had a 2-hour therapy session today to work through those things. Kevin, I have some ideas to bounce and play with if you're open. How can I best support you today? So starting off, one thing you went for is the, fellow vagina lovers. And you can incorporate as well, an idea you can incorporate is like fellow vagina lovers, men, anyone who actually has a vagina, because like, quite frankly, you got to love yourself.
Right.
So, what I'm saying is be inclusive. That's an idea, and you can run with that if you choose to. Let's see. Anything else to do with chocolate? The chocolate. Yeah. Anything else? Anybody else have anything?
Wait. So it's just saying fellow vagina lovers, which could be men or women or anything in between, is not inclusive enough?
I think it could resonate more deeply because it gets you for me, I would feel like, oh yeah, as a woman, you should love your own vagina. Just sort of that self-love, just an idea. It's not like it was not, it's a matter of, a different twist or direction on it.
All right.
Yeah.
I was mesmerized by the lettuce reference, actually. So I'm not one to puke at all. But I was like, if you go back and look at this tape, you'll see me make a lot of funny faces. I was catching myself in my own camera, just making weird faces at what you were saying. So that's probably what the audience did to you too. So
I think the most surprising part of that joke for me is that you were 17.
New York City, we grow up fast.
Most of us, we're like 17 years old and we're like, I haven't been kissed yet. I wonder when that's going to happen. And you're like, oh, I was doing butt stuff. I was 17. I was like, oh, wow. Like,
Really? I'm most surprised that a 17-year-old ate a salad.
Yeah.
Oh, sharp.
I'm just answering a message from Bilal. He's trying to get in, but I don't see him yet. So if Facebook users are talking about it, just wanted to make a comment there. But yeah, sorry. Elizabeth, do you have much more?
I just want to say that I love that you went from chocolate to ass. I love that your brain went there, and I was there with you. That last joke about like what was it? The pickle?
The fudge pickle. It's a story. I don't know. I haven't told it in a long time.
Well, you can tie it up so much. It's still in its early stages. but I think there's
Yep.
potential. It made me laugh right away, so I think there's something there.
I was told that's the difference between being a comedian and a comic. Like I'm always, that's like a lot of my jokes, but I don't know. That's what I like. So fuck you, whoever said, I forgot who said that to me. But yeah, I'll work on that more. I actually like that story.
See, I like your confidence. I love your confidence. You're like 17 years old. Yo, I started confidence young.
Yeah,
I've been working my whole life to become like you, Kevin.
I want to know what that first story was like. You telling your buddies it happened, how you puked on her back. That's what I want to know more about.
Oh, right.
Like the awkwardness of having to go through that whole thing. Maybe that's the angle you're missing, is that you're telling it from a now thing, and it's a little more like no offense, it's a little bit like blank a bit, but not
Right.
like stale a tad. But if you showed it more of an emotional thing, like you're trying to tell you how embarrassed you were telling your friends or something like that, it may actually spark a bit more into it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If that helps at all.
No, because I just went through my notes and I looked up chocolate. I have to have something on chocolate, and that's like the second thing. All right, thanks.
Yeah. Now I really want to know how your friends took that when you first told them. I don't know why it's picturing me, but that's a funny thought in my head. But yeah. So, anyways. Well, how about if there's no more advice, critiquing, we can move on to the next person if you like. Everybody good? I think that was a good spot, Kev. Good job. Who would like to go next, since we don't have a plan? Anybody?
I'll go next.
You want to go next, Elizabeth? Okay.
Yeah.
Elizabeth.
I will shake my phone at the 4-minute mark just so you know where you are. Or would you rather me do 3?
3's fine.
Okay. I should have told Kevin that too. Sorry about that. But please go ahead.
I've been here before. I know what's going on.
Yeah. So my topic was geometry.
Oof.
I know. It was hard, so don't judge me. People actually study geometry. It's just shapes. What a waste of time. That's like if I decided to study toenail clippings. It's stupid. This is more of a comment. Shapes can suck my dick. Ooh, tough subject. Really, geometry scares me. Mostly because I don't remember any of it, and I don't like to look dumb. My daughter needed help with her homework yesterday. She had to know what a polygon was, so that she could do her homework. That's when my kid realized that I'm stupid. It's easier to be dumb these days because of smartphones and Google. So like you're only dumb for like a brief period of time. But imagine being dumb in the 80s. You had to go to your encyclopedia collection, read through all of the words that start with P until you found polygon. And that's all the way in like the PO section too. That's like later in the book. Anyway, that process just stretches out how dumb you are in that moment. You know, you could just stare at you surrounded by a pile of books and just like dismisses you and is like, forget it, I'll just skip that question. By the way, do you know what a polygon is? Anyone?
It's a 7-sided?
No, it's
7. I don't know what it is.
any geometric figure with any amount of lines, any amount of angles and sides.
Close. It's
What she
someone that
said.
leaves a thruple. A polygon.
Oh, that was not in my Encyclopedia Britannica. Dang.
The new edition, the 2020 edition. I used to be really good at geometry. It's just shapes and corners and shit. You had to be real stupid to not know shapes. Again, just a statement. I know a lot of people who had sex instead of doing geometry. They ended up becoming parents. That's the worst way to flunk a class. I failed and now I have to raise a stupid baby. So picture what a cylinder looks like. You got it in your head?
Yeah.
Doesn't a cylinder look like two testicular cancer survivors docking? Okay, can you picture like a cone shape? You got it in your head? Okay. A cone is a single testicular cancer survivor. There's a lot of cancer in the geometry community, okay? But also a lot of early detection. Self-exams are important, men. And ladies too, you know? But for this show, it's going to be men, because then you go to the doctor and say, hey, there's something wrong with my dick. It's shaped like a right angle. All right, that's all I got.
We got a message from Scott here I'll throw up on there. He says, I'd love to see sex positions as shapes. So that was some...
I love that. I love that you said Scott threw up a message, and all I could go back to is Kevin throwing up on lettuce on the girl's back.
Yeah.
I'm 17.
I should brag about that more, right?
Yeah. Here's another guy, some Facebook user saying cuticle sounds like a shape, which is kind of funny. But,
yeah,
well,
17. Kevin was a wretched lover.
Would anybody like to start off with the advice critique?
With the polygons and the shapes, you could have brought up more like yoga stuff and I guess sex positions and Kama Sutra. You know, again, that's where my brain goes. I guess yours too. Yeah, you know, that's how I woke up with a bad back, or my anus is somehow, you know, under my foot. I don't know. It's just, no, but it was pretty smart. It looks like you actually took your time, unlike me. But no, yeah, that was surprising. I don't know, because that I would kill myself instead of try to make jokes about that. But yeah, good job. That's
why the show's so much fun, though.
Yeah.
Like last time I joked about chess, and that was before Queen's Gambit. So I was
Oh man, 1 week later, right?
Yeah.
Would you like to go, Stannis?
First of all, I love it. I love how smart your humor is. I think that's really fun, especially the geometry and like kids who drop out, get pregnant and drop out of school. Maybe they should have been studying basic math, because 1 + 1 = 3. Maybe that's new math or something. I think you were really clever going in that direction. So some ideas around that. Also, I think it's kind of fun that you talked about geometry and breaking down the word. Like, so many things come from these words that we break down, like geometry. It's like, is that how they came up with the car named Geo? Is that why that car only makes right turns? like you can. I had a small car like that, and I had a really hard time doing 360s, but that didn't stop me from doing them while mudding in a dirt parking lot. But like, I love how you play with the words. Hi, sweetie, can I pick you up?
It's a cat.
It's a cat.
You gotta give a cat, Elizabeth.
My
cat won't come near me.
Yeah. Well, 50% of really solid comedians have cats.
I have a cat. He just doesn't like me.
No. My fiance has 3 cats. I just, feed them. That's it.
I had some notes for you too, actually. Not really notes, just comments about it. You're hilarious. So, like, I love your line right away with it's like me studying toenail clippings. I mean, that was hilarious to me. I didn't see that coming at all. It was funny, And then when you just threw out the suck my dick geometry, whatever it was, yeah, you're on a really funny roll with some things. I was really laughing. I just kept writing notes down, and I absolutely love, and you can hopefully use it in something else or this, but I love when you said, imagine being dumb in the 80s and then looking up encyclopedias. Oh man, that hurts so many people at like a very high level. I just thought that was hilarious. So, I mean, that was really good. Those jokes were great. So yeah, that's all I really have for that.
That was hilarious. Oh god.
Okay, so we got some more comments here. Scott's asking, where is Belil Swain? And the answer is, who knows? He hasn't clicked on the link, and there's nothing showing me I can let him in. So
wasn't he driving?
Yeah, I don't know.
He was probably trying a Geo, and that's why he just keeps making 90-degree turns.
Yeah.
He'll never get here.
Yeah, who knows where he is right now? He'll be here when he can. Okay, Sonus, would you like to go, or would you like me to go? How about this? I'll give you
Either
the choice.
way. Oh, I'll go. Rock and roll.
Okay, so when you're ready,
all right, let's rock on.
go.
Yeah. So my word is courier. I've lived in Japan for half my life, and a lot of people ask me, like, Sines, what's it like living in Japan? You know, how is it over there? I guess they're bored about hearing about America. That's why I left too. So when my grandmother passed away, I got messaged by courier that she had passed, and people always tell me, "Oh, your grandmother must be looking down on you." Yeah, she's been looking down on me her whole life. Yeah. You know, and I was wondering, you know, like, people say that she's looking down on me, but where is she? Like, in all the good times, like she's there, but where is she when all those times that things just go horrifically wrong? I lost my wallet. Grandma, will help, please? Lost my job. Really? Nothing? I lost my baby. Oh my God. Really? You just needed some more companionship. I get it. You know, but get one good parking spot and there she is smiling down on me. Yeah. So going to websites, the first thing I check is not the product they're selling, but the font, the typeface. I love typefaces. Some people call me a typophile. But I promise I won't be touching your keyboard inappropriately. I much prefer a word that I made up. I call myself a fontologist. It just sounds so much better. Like, hi, I'm Sines. I'm a fontologist. Hi, I'm Sines. I'm a typophile. Like, one's a great conversation starter and the other one's an interrogation starter. Yeah, I mean, one of the most popular fonts of all time is the Courier font. And this is the font of the U.S. State Department. Courier font really gets your message across fast. there's two types of fonts, right? There's fonts, serif fonts with feet and sans serif fonts without feet. You know, I got nothing for that. I guess there is, you know, I guess the fonts with feet have an advantage in the type race. Yeah, you know, Twitter is like, you know, okay, so back in the day, before we actually had message couriers, there must have been town criers. Like somebody would stand in the middle of a square and go, "Hear ye, hear ye." And it's like, at what point did somebody say, like, maybe this is a bad idea to not have a guy scream, "Hear ye, Lady Josephine, your husband is away from town, so your lover would like to meet you underneath the pine tree." You know? Is that the point where they decide, you know what, maybe we should send messages by courier? So they would make courier pigeons. And just this week, there was a courier pigeon found in France that had a message from just before World War I from German soldiers saying, guess what? World War I is going to start. If somebody had not shot the messenger, we would have never gone. My people would not have been slaughtered. Let's just put it that way. I mean, at what point do you make that decision? You know, like, I'm hankering for some pigeon today, or I'm going to let this pigeon keep carrying forth a message to not desolate the whole entire world. Yeah. So let's see. Oh, you know, you think about gods being involved with. There were two gods. There was the Greek gods and the Roman gods, and they both had courier gods, Hermes and Mercurius. Do you think about it? Like, which god is better, the Greek gods or the Roman gods? Obviously, we've never heard of the planet Hermes. So yeah. All right. Thank you so much. I had 4 minutes, right?
Yeah, that was 4 minutes. Perfect. On the time.
Rock on. Thank you.
You can still go if you still have more to say.
I can always have more to say. I guess Twitter. I would say if of modern day couriers, Twitter is the courier. Twitter is the town crier of couriers, especially for the Trump campaign. Oh, I did not mean to say that out loud on live video. But yeah. One of the things now, especially with COVID, a lot of I've seen nobody. I haven't left my house since this all started in March, which is why I'm so verbose at the moment. And now I specifically order packages to get delivered by courier with a signature. Just so I have someone to talk to. No, don't leave it on my front porch. Let me just sign. I just need to sign. Yeah, and it got so great that when my cat disappeared, I told the delivery person, like, my cat disappeared. Could you keep an eye out for him? He's like, sure. Yes. Hi. So I will look for your cat. And my cat disappeared. And 2 weeks later, my courier he comes over. He's like, oh, Sones-san, I want to show you pictures of my cat. Spitting image, Norwegian forest terrier cat. And I'm like, oh my God. Is this my cat? He's like, no, it's my cat. My courier took off with my cat for 2 months and 21 days, finally found my cat, got it home. But I swear it was my delivery person who really was even more desperate for a relationship with me than I was with him. All right, that's pretty much what I got. Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
We got some messages here again, so we'll throw this up there. This is from Scott. Was your grandma looking down on you from the land of the rising sun? And then he apologized.
Why Canadians always apologizing? Yeah.
He's Canadian, like me, so we do that. Here's another comment. Is a typophile someone who particularly uses small fonts?
Only if they've had their nails done by Elizabeth.
Here we go. JPEG is a typophile. It just keeps going on. I have no idea who's typing this up. PDF is a typophile. Yeah. Type of file. Okay, I got it now.
A type of file. Oh, that's a real word. Everybody's like, oh my God. And I absolutely love fonts. Like, this is my thing. I'm so nerdy about it. I took a branding design class and I was like, I love fonts. Well, no, I actually don't love fonts. I just get really irritated by fonts. So when I talk about being like, I'm a typophile, people are like, ooh, you're a little creepy.
Yeah.
Real stories here. Everything. 100% real.
Here's another last one from Scott. Birds as couriers are the original poop emojis, which is kind of funny, actually. Yeah. Okay, Kevin, how about you? Do you got any, critiquing to do? That's the word I'm using now, and I'm sorry. That's where I am.
Canadians, we're so nice. Want to critique her?
Yeah.
I mean, again, courier, that's another word I guess I would kill myself instead of doing. But just kidding. Suicide's not funny. Unless you do it in a funny way. Anyway, I don't know.
Want to come back to you? Oh, okay.
I love how, you explained what the courier was, and then the grandma stuff, and then just you basically get out of it and you go elsewhere, which that was pretty good. I don't know, I deleted my notes somehow, but I'm just saying I enjoyed it. I don't know, I'm sorry. I need a new phone.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Elizabeth, how about you?
I mean, I agree with it being a hard-ass word. I don't know how you pulled that off, but you did a great job. I just have one thing to say, though, with the foot part. Feet, no feet. I just thought foot fetish could be, a lane you explore.
Oh, yeah. That would have been fun. A foot fetish. That would have been fun. A foot fetish. Yeah. That's so funny. Oh man, I had something else to say about fonts. I had like all these ideas. I was trying not to look at my notes.
You try not to look at your notes, you said?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I got some. I have this mind map here, so I'm not supposed to be reading anything. I'm trying to go off just a mind map because I feel like I had all these ideas I'd written stream of consciously, and then but yeah, I love that foot fetish idea. Wonder what one would type if they had like, what would somebody type if they had foot fetish with a serif font?
There's Scott again.
Fontics. Oh, I got it. I love it. So one of the things I have here about fonts. Oh, so the Courier font was the official font of the U.S. State Department until they switched to New Times Roman. Like seriously, New Times Roman. You can't just slap new on something and say, "Oh, it's new, it's improved." New Times Roman. Don't be kidding. Like the Romans were defeated by barbarians. The Romans weren't defeated by barbarians. They were defeated by capitalism. Why are we celebrating the Romans? That's like celebrating the New Times Confederates. Oh, we do? We have statues still standing? Maybe they just need a new font. Random ideas around fonts. Oh God.
That's great.
One thing I wrote down was I liked the premise you talk about your grandmother watching down on you. And why isn't she watching down for me? Like, you know, when I can't find my keys or whatever you said, your wallet, I think it was. I like that premise. Yeah, I think it's has somewhere to go. Yeah, yeah. And the story at the end was great too about the cat stealing and everything else. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I believe
was
it.
that real?
Yeah, that's for real. That was real.
Yeah.
Except it turns out the cat, we finally got the cat back after 2 months and 21 days. No, the guy literally has our identical cat. But I really thought for about 2 months that he had taken our cat. I thought, you know, dropped off an Amazon package, picked up a cat.
Oh my god! I would think the same thing though.
Yeah. I mean, he's such a nice guy.
Doesn't have a chip or a collar?
So we had just gotten this foster cat. And we had him, and he'd been hit by a car. He had a broken hip. It was just like this big mess, and poor little thing. And he escaped like a ninja. It's a really great story. I could tell you one day, but I want to honor and respect your time. But yeah, so we hadn't officially adopted him. He didn't have a microchip yet. Nothing. It was just like, we just received a cat. And then he was gone. Yeah, it's like return on delivery, but not.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody has a brilliant piece. Oh, sorry. Do you want to read that as our host?
Oh, no, it's okay. Yeah.
Gary Goldman has a brilliant piece on different fonts. I would love that. Oh my God. Fonts are everything. I'm awfully fond of fonts.
He also says, unless it's not Gary Goldman, then disregard that last message. So.
Oh, God. I used to be on tour with a theater company for like 15 years, and all of our scripts were written in Comic Sans. I cannot. That font makes me want to vomit now, Kevin. Like that Comic Sans is the font of 17-year-olds.
I don't mind the font as long as I can read it.
The only way I can tell between fonts is if it's like swirly or like straight. I don't know any of these ones you're talking about. Like, it's like I do use the fonts, but I never read them. I just click on a font and, you know, I like that one. It's swirly, like I said, but yeah.
I'm so particular that I had to buy a particular font for my website so that it didn't look like Arial, but it was very similar, but not.
You had to buy a font?
I did. I bought a whole entire collection of a font specifically for my website, my brand, because I'm that particular about. And if you were to take a look, like the normal average person would take a look at the, you know, oh, how is that different from Arial? And be like, well, as you can tell, there's a the kern is a little different. The what? You know, the space. No.
Okay, well, perhaps we should move on because I know Kevin has to be somewhere soon. In a while. So let's do mine now, if that sounds okay with you guys.
Right.
Okay. Now I came in at I think noon when I got this topic. So luckily I had something kind of written a year ago that I hadn't really used, so it works out well. My topic is sneakers. Okay, sneakers, which
Okay.
not so bad. But anyways, I just want to start by saying that revenge is a fickle pickle, my friends. Okay, and this is a true story that a friend of mine, or not a friend of mine, just a guy I know, shaved my eyebrow off, and in retaliation, I number two'd in his shoes. That's what I did.
Mm.
Okay, yeah, I pooped his boot. I ass trashed his Adidas. I BM'd his Birkenstocks. I cropped his kicks. I cold one into his Cowboys. I clogged up his clogs. I Christmas chimneyed his trucks. I deuced his Daytons. I dookied his docks. I dennied his tennies. I upper decked his deck shoes. Okay. It's a lot to say. I had this partially memorized at one point that I never really used. But I just want you to imagine, like, to retell, just imagine, like, you just go into bed in a drunken stupor and you're in a hotel and you have this wonderful dream, right? Wonderful dream. Like I remember his dream, but like this little gnome like was playing with this puppy and then jumped on the back of this puppy and they're having a great time. He took him for a run and and they see this unicorn and the unicorn's like prancing and they're prancing with the unicorn and it's all lovely, and you wake up in this just I remember waking up just feeling so good and like stretching and feeling great and then seeing that I only had one eyebrow. That's fucking the thing. So what I did is I gummed up his gum boots. I fertilized his size 9s. I floated one up his flippers. I cow plopped his flip flops. I Hershey skirted his high tops. I loafed his loafers. I mucked up his mucklucks. I muddied up his moccasins. If you notice, this is all in alphabetical order. So,
Yeah.
and it has a bit of a Shakespearean flow to it, downhill, of course. But I prairie dogged his pumas. I pinched one in his platforms. I dumped his pumps. I ruined his retros. I had the runs in his runners. I shit kicked his shit kickers. I snuck one up in his sneakers. I slipped one into his slippers. I had the trots in his trainers, and I volcanoed his vans. Moral of the story: don't fuck with me. But anyways, that's what I have for sneakers. That's what I had. So there. Thank you. I don't know how long that was, but probably short. So it was a little bit on. Go ahead. Thank you.
That was awesome. Yay!
That was great.
I did. I rewrote that a bit for today, but I used most of the jokes there or those lines. I forgot all about it. So.
I didn't hear any jokes about Jordans or Timberlands, which are big in New York. So.
Oh, I think I did do Jordans. I have to look back. You know what? I might have done Jordans in a different copy, but I had a Jordan at one point. I thought, but not this time.
If you come to New York and make fun of Jordans, you're a dead man. I don't know.
Really?
I think so. I don't care. But
is it like Kobe Bryant over there, or what's going on?
Oh my God. What?
Because you can't in LA. You can't talk about Kobe Bryant's death without. You can't make fun of him without getting hassled. So
I don't know about LA. Fuck LA. I don't know. I'm just saying. The sneaker stuff. That would. Have you tried it in front of a sneakerhead? Like
I tried it at a open mic I was running in a little bar in my little town, and it wasn't really feeling great. So I wrote it about a year ago and only tried it once or twice and never went back to it. So I forgot all about it till today, actually. So pull it up.
That sounds more like a specific joke for a specific crowd. Again, I'm telling you, here in New York, sneakerheads. I have friends whose closets full of shoes that are not opened so that hopefully one day they can sell them for a fortune. That's
wow.
Yeah, what is it? A hood lottery, whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called.
Well, henceforth, Kevin's friends beware.
But I liked it. I'm not a sneakerhead, but I know the shoe game or whatever, the shoe trade. So again, it would work more on a specific crowd, but it was great.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. How about you, Elizabeth? Would you like to say something?
Oh, I really loved it. I feel like when you deliver it, though, just give some time in between each line because I really wanted to laugh at every one, but I found myself holding my breath because I wanted to hear the next one.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah, I kind
Uh-huh.
of got it like a bit of a poem almost. That's how I've kind of memorized it. But
Yeah.
maybe I'll try that if I do it again. Yeah,
But
taking
I
big
loved
stalls
it.
between.
And now I'm trying to think of new ones for you too. Like I yucked on his Yeezys or something.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Yeah, I was getting stale. I mean, that was like 28 of them or something like that. I don't know how much it was, but I think I tried to go for like 50 at one point. I just couldn't get any more out of myself. But
Uh-huh.
it's
That's
one of those
awesome.
ones that was more fun to write, I think, than actually say sometimes. But yeah. But Sonus, how about you?
First of all, I gotta give shout outs. Like, I'm not a big, like, poop joke fan. Like, but I have never heard such a brilliant vocabulary when it comes to defecation. When that came across, I was extremely engaged. And it was really fun, and I like the rhythm. I like the like. I want to be pushed at the edge of where.
That's what his poop sounded like. Nothing.
What's that?
Nothing.
But I like that, and I like that feeling of going into it so much so that it builds up a tension.
Oh god.
So by the end, you're like, finally release. I really enjoyed that. I feel like I do feel like that was really good. For me, it could have gone even faster, just to like make everybody on the edge of their seats going like, oh my God, because it's really clever. And so I like that. I love the idea of Shakespearean iambic pentameter in there. Like, oh, that this shoe too, to sullied flesh would melt. Like, if you are gonna ham it up, there could be some points of yeah, that would be funny. Or maybe you could just end it off with a Shakespearean. That is literally a line from iambic pentameter in Shakespeare's plays. Oh, that this shoe to sullied flesh would melt. But you can also say, oh, that this shoe to sullied flesh would melt.
It's what's funny is that you're the first person to pick up on that. I didn't put it in iambic, but I put it all in the same syllables, almost every line. And I can't remember what it was, like the same amount of syllables, so it came off easier. If that makes sense. It was easier for me to get in a rhythm of saying it. But I did kind of form it. And I think that's why the Jordan's joke didn't work, or the portion in it. It just wasn't flowing the right way when I was repeating it. Because I kept repeating it to myself to try to see if I can get it out and memorize it. And it was like really hard, as you saw. So I started trying to make it more rhythmic. Like you said, you're the first person to pick up on that. So kudos on that.
Oh, kudos on you. I think that was amazing. It would even be really fun if like at some point you had like a jazz drummer in the background or some sort of like
I
or
like that.
You said it really slow, like a poem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you can probably.
Yeah, you can play with the speed. Like you can start it off slow and then rev it up and just get faster and faster and faster as it goes down the track. Or you could even address it. Someone once said, "Shouldn't that be an iambic pentameter?" And for you, I say, "Oh, that this shoe too, sullied flesh would melt." And you can even bring that as a closure to it. So that does have like a tight end.
Yeah.
Tight end.
Yeah, that's some good advice. I think I
tight
will.
end for a guy who talks about pooping in someone's shoes.
Stretching them out, I guess, too. Yeah. Well, thank you for that advice.
I love the playfulness which you bring forward to this. Like, it could have been any direction. It could have been such venom and anger, but it was like playful anger. And I think that was really fun.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually a true story. And the guy will not stop bringing it up to me every time I see him at rugby. But my defense is like, you shaved my eyebrow off. Like, what do you want me to do? So that was a retaliation, right? I mean, the funniest thing about that story, actually, if you want me just to take a second on it, is that I actually felt guilty after I did it and washed his shoe out. And I was hammered. I washed his shoe out.
Oh my God.
And then,
this guy is so Canadian.
I washed it out, felt bad, and I put it back with his stuff. I said, no, that's too disgusting. And the next day, I forgot all about it. And he puts his shoe on and goes, why is my shoe wet? And then we all started laughing because like we knew why. But it's like, someone goes, yeah, Keller shit in your shoe. And it's like, well, yeah, I did, but I washed it out. I felt guilty. But he still, to this day, and he never threw the shoes out. He kept the shoes. He must have been a sneakerhead. He kept the shoes and wore them for like a couple of years after that. at rugby all the time, and yeah.
Oh
Anyways,
Oh
that's
my
part of the
God.
story. I don't know.
Oh my god.
Well, let's-
What's your rugby number? Don't tell me it's 2.
It is a 2, yeah. Actually, now it's a 10 because I've gotten old and fat. So yeah.
So rugby jerseys have like your number
Position-wise,
position
yeah.
you play.
Yeah.
My darling's a rugby player too.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Well, let's move this ahead, and maybe we can talk about that after. This is where we do our own, I guess, 3 to 5 minutes. And I should say, I know I've heard someone say this before, and I like it, is that I'm not going to stop you if you go over 5, so don't worry about this time limit thing. What I will do, I'm just going to flash you at 3 so you know where you are, and then it's just on you guys to keep going and not to worry. If that sounds good?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so Kevin, you're first.
Kevin.
I recently recorded a Spanish comedy special, so I'm gonna do my 30 minutes right now. I'm gonna translate it all into English, if you don't mind. Just kidding. Just kidding. Hola, my name is Kevin Armando Escobar Escuero Campo Cardona, but you can call me Kevin for short. My last name is Escobar, and sadly, I am not related to Pablo Escobar because then, I wouldn't be here having fun with all of you right now. I'm sure we all saw Narcos. We all know who he was, right? He was a great man. Que Dios lo bendiga. But anyway, look, when I was a little kid, my mom bought me a dog, and she named him after my dad because they both had one thing in common. They both wouldn't stop running away from home and fucking other bitches. So if you can do me one favor, if you ever run into any old Colombian man named Pedro, son of a bitch Escobar, I give you my blessing to just put him down. All right? And send me photos, please. All right, so I'm working on that. That's basic intro sometimes. Anyway, this is what I'm working on. All right. As a comedian, I'm kind of expected to be an asshole, and I guess I am. But ever since I became a comedian, I have lost a lot of friends because anything could become material. Anything. Right? I once had a friend post a picture on her Instagram of her new Batman belly ring. Weird, right? So I replied with, "Oh, is that the new bat signal for the Batcave?" And yeah, she blocked me after that. So that's cool. That's it. I don't know. I love that joke. Weird guys. All right, so a lot of people. Oh, all right. Sorry. All right.
We love you, Kevin.
You got this.
All right. All right. A lot of people have been saying that they have been drinking more since quarantine, but I actually don't drink at all. I think it's yucky. I'm actually a super lightweight. I even get a headache whenever I take a shot of ginger ale, and that shit is spicy when you drink it fast. Yeah, I go hard, no ice, and what? In your face. Like, if you give me a sip of Bud Light, I would be out for the whole night. I'm not even kidding. So, no one please take advantage of me, right? Oh. Tell that dog to stop humping my leg. What? Whenever. Anyway, and so I've gotten in trouble for making fun of racism, religion, politics, even pandas. Yeah, fuck pandas, and I'll tell you why. Let's just say they're pretty much useless animals, and we should just let them do their own thing, like eat, sleep, get fat, and die alone. Maybe some of you can relate, right? But I've actually gotten the most shit for defending pineapple pizza. I will defend pineapple pizza until the day I die. All right. By the way, a Canadian invented it, so thank you, Canada.
Delicious.
Look, I just believe if you can't handle pineapple on your pizza, then your bloodline is weak and you should not reproduce. All right. Did you know that actually helps with digestion, especially for those of you that are lactose intolerant?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. But I love cheese here. But don't Google it. Just trust me. Kevin facts. But has anyone ever tried Hawaiian pizza with some hot sauce and washed it down with a glass of milk? Yummy. I might have a first world look, but I also have a third world stomach. Thank you, Mom. Viva Colombia.
Yay!
Oh, man.
Ooh, yeah, good job. Good job. Yeah, I love pineapple pizza being Canadian. That's a thing I love. And it was a guy in Toronto invented it or something like that.
He was born in some other country, not even from Canada. He's an immigrant.
Yeah.
I forgot.
We still keep them. Every one of our Canadians. If you're Canadian by birth certificate, doesn't matter about birth certificate. We just take them. That's what it is.
Real quick, a fun fact about this set, I recorded a special, like a 10-minute special using these jokes, like 2 years ago, and I completely forgot about it. But yeah, I should have watched the video instead of just read it because I completely forgot how I said it. But yeah, thank you. That's my time.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were done before that. I apologize. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No.
I thought you were too.
Yeah.
Right.
I just decided to bring that up in case it's.
You're very New York, from what I've seen. A lot of New York guys. I haven't been there, of course, and seen the comedians, but from what I've been seeing on different like types of things like this, I can hear the New York in you for it. Just the way you tell your jokes. So does that make sense? It's kind of a different thing everywhere, I guess, but yeah, I can definitely hear it. So yeah, Elizabeth, would you like to critique?
First of all, pineapple pizza is trash.
That's what I have to deal with.
No, I'm a pepperoni girl all the way.
You can put pepperoni on it too.
Thing? Not at the same time. What was it? You said something as a throwaway line. You said like Kevin facts, right? I'm just picturing like a whole bit just about Kevin facts. Like it could be a whole. I don't know.
You know what? That wasn't even. I don't know why that came out of my mouth. That's not even written down. But I guess I'll just write that on the side somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you meant to say that actually. That's
no, I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. That was clever.
I liked it. I just like the ring of it.
All right. Thank you. I'll write that.
And there's truth to it, so that's always good.
I like with the bat cave joke when you told that, and we're kind of. I was just kind of thinking about it still. Like, is he talking about her vagina or belly button? Because I couldn't really tell. And in my head, then you said, "I don't care. I like that joke. Fuck you guys." It just made me crack up pretty good. So.
So what part there doesn't? Okay, so a new Batman belly ring, right? So I replied with, "Is that the new bat signal for the bat cave?"
Yeah.
At the top, the bat cave, should be the vagina.
No, yeah, I got that after, but I started thinking, does he mean the belly button or does he mean the vagina? Yeah, it did make sense, but it took me 10 seconds to realize what you meant because I fixated on the belly button still because you said it. So, but yeah, I don't know if anybody else felt that way with that joke.
I did. That's exactly where I was too for a second.
Yeah.
Right,
so maybe you should say vagina. Is your vagina the bat cave, and maybe make it a little more blatant? Maybe I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like to give too much advice to people because I think everybody has their own path. I like to give kind of tags or ask questions about stuff. So that's where I usually sit. But yeah, I was just mentioning because it made me think of something else. And one thing I always find with jokes is you don't want to send their attention a different way when you're trying to go to the next thing. That's something I've had to learn the hard way. So I tend to do that a lot. Yeah. And that'd be just more of an economy of words sort of thing, right? So you're keeping their focus on it. But yeah, I mean, I do like the premise and everything. And the joke was fine. It just sent me a bit kind of thinking incorrectly. But yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
One thing that I really enjoy about Kevin is, there's this sheepish personality that the sheepish character that you put on when you're like, oh, that didn't work. And it's so endearing. It really brings, some comedians when they lose it, they're like, oh, it's kind of hard to get on their side. But for you, it's so easy to get on your side. I just feel like, yeah, there's something about your character that comes through that I really enjoy.
I guess I bombed enough to know how to alley-oop somehow. I
No,
don't
no,
know.
it's not even that. Like it's not even that. There's something that you do. You might want to go back and rewatch the tape, but there's something that you do with your head that you turn, you tilt. You're like you have this moment of personal beratement that brings everybody on with you. It's something that's I haven't seen a lot of people do well, or not that you're doing it intentionally, but it's quite charming. It's endearing. Not charming, endearing, I'd say.
All right.
You need to
Sorry,
look at that. But seriously, go back. No. I'm for real when it comes to like the performing side of this. I think it's really go back and look at what you're doing because it's working. Not saying that you need to play it up, but there's something there that that not a lot of people are able to do and have. Maybe it's just a natural persona.
All right. I don't know. I never noticed that.
There's a comedian here in Canada named Ron James. It's absolutely hilarious. Hasn't really made the States too much, but he's actually really, really funny. And I got to meet him. But one thing I noticed when he does his comedy, when a joke's kind of not working exactly the way he wants it to, he has a weird face switch he does. I can't even mimic it, but everybody starts laughing. It's like a invite of everybody to understand. Okay, that was the joke, and everybody just starts laughing. He does it all the time, and it's actually quite interesting to see that. I've never been able to that, but I think that's what Sonus is kind of saying, that there's something you're doing unintentionally that's allowing people to maybe allowing them to laugh, or you're giving them permission to laugh at some things, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Does that make sense? Yeah, I didn't. That's not a shot or anything like that. That's something that if you can do it, it's amazing, because I've seen Ron do it. It's like I've watched him live, just going and just thinking, man, that's like so amazing. He can do that all the time. It's just like, yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
I'll send you a video of him. How's that sound, Kevin?
Sure. Yeah.
I like how Kevin's always like, almost like self-deprecating when he looks at us all the time. I just see it in him, just like,
Yeah.
yeah. Like,
it's that quality that just makes it just like, oh, you get drawn into it. It's
Okay.
Are you saying that you can tell he hates himself? Is that what you're saying?
Kevin had all of his confidence blown at 17. He blew that confidence wad.
Oh man.
Okay, thanks, Kevin. That was great. So,
yay, Kevin.
Yeah. Do you have to slip off soon, Kevin? Are you okay to stay for a bit, or what?
Yeah, go ahead. I'll whatever.
Slip out when you have to. We won't. Before you leave, if you just message in the thing about your details, I'll read them aloud if you have to go before we're done. So yeah, no worries, man. Okay, so Elizabeth, you're second. How's that go? You ready?
Alrighty, sounds good.
Go.
Alrighty. I have a feeling none of this is gonna be funny, but whatever. Hang on. Is that how I'm starting? No. COVID has brought me some good things. I lost a job I hated. Never felt better. I love unemployment. I'm getting paid to do what I want. Troll 90 Day Fiance Facebook groups. Never thought I'd lose a job because some assholes in China eat bats. But thank God for those Ozzy Osbourne motherfuckers. As we know, it's killing people with pre-existing conditions. Good. We don't need people in rascal scooters representing us. We need our best and brightest. That's why Adele got skinny. What's up next?
Ooh,
What's up next? I'm trying to have a baby during COVID. Because life's too short and babies don't need to taste or smell. Yep. What a waste of the senses. A baby's not going to save me from a gas leak. No, they'll just smell it and let everyone die in their sleep. Go one baby. I'm trying to have a baby on purpose. Everyone I know was conceived by accident. some Isley Brothers and a 6-pack later, and here they are. Someone told me if I want twins, drink a Four Loko. I know dumb people. I'm now figuring this out with smart people. Doctors. Remember when we used to listen to them? Now we treat them like the tinfoil hat bum that named himself Captain Fun. Like Captain Fun ate out Hillary Clinton. It's in the emails. Do you like my impression of Captain Fun? It sucks. According to my doctor, my husband is the problem. Well, I mean, as long as it's not me, what do I care? I can take this uterus anywhere to make a baby. I just want a baby. Anyway, I'm kidding. I'm too lazy to get a divorce.
Wow.
Yeah. I feel bad for my husband because it has to be hard on someone's manhood, you know? So I gave him a handy at Target. I felt like he needed a win, you know? That's all I got. Damn.
All right. Damn, I should have brought out some Corona jokes too.
Yeah.
Those have been killing. Anyway.
Good job, Elizabeth. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So the Lizzo thing, I think I speak for all fat ladies out there. She's never going to lose weight because that's her whole brand. Yeah, believe it or not. Yeah, but that dark stuff, that's like my level stuff. I love it. I would be standing ovation at a show while everyone else is like, ew, I can't believe she said that. You know, we don't live too far apart. I don't know. We need to get together or something, but that was great. Oh yeah, the coronavirus stuff, the baby stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's like your. I would like to see it on stage because it's probably a different level of energy. Hopefully that you present.
Yeah, I'm just reading it. It's all new.
Yeah, you're in there. You're in that Harry Potter closet, so it's a little. You know, they're sucking the magic out of you, but it's. No, but yeah, I loved it. I don't know. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I loved it. That's it.
How are you, Sanas? Would you like to comment, critique?
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to comment on the show because every time I come in here, there's some sort of magical connection. So, and based on that, a magical connection with Elizabeth here, and you'll hear it coming up in just a minute because that's what I brought in today as well. I love I love that you're confronting about what you're experiencing with your husband, particularly on the blame that has been usually put on you as a woman and then turning around to like, yo, it's not me this time. Cause I've been through that cycle for so long. You'll hear a little bit about it coming up in a few, but, I love that shift and that change. And there a little bit of compassion in your joke about like, yeah, he needed a win, you know, like,
yeah, I love that part actually.
I think that speaks real. I love that. Yeah. And the new perspective on the getting to do what you wanted to do with COVID, but really you'll hear in a minute, like why I'm so in tune with you on that stuff. But I think you're awesome for going that direction and exploring it because it's really a challenging subject. You're awesome. I love you. Think you're amazing. Let's connect after this.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I like that need to give him a win, like or a punchline. I guess it'd be. It was really funny. Yeah, one thing I wrote down is I loved your childish kind of punk vibe you got going on. It's like you sound so innocent, but you're really just you're hitting people with like hard shots continuously that are really funny in a fuck you sort of way. It's yeah, I just love that sort of comedy. So good job. You know, yeah. I just noticed how purple my eyes look here. It's like amazing. It's distracted. Yeah.
Wow, you have the most beautiful purple eyes I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I think that's Corona.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sick now. Well, this lighting is pretty bad. My skin looks very pale. So, yeah. Do you do other, like, I know Kevin was asking earlier about Spanish speaking comedians. Now, being a dumb Canadian, I just see someone's last name is Lopez, assume that maybe you have some kind of background towards that way.
Yeah, here's a funny story. So I'm Puerto Rican, which means I don't speak Spanish.
Okay.
So
Makes sense.
Rican, but you're not from New York. I don't know. Same thing.
Just okay. So Puerto Rico doesn't
Rican,
speak Spanish. I would not even known that.
No, they do. It's just the ones born here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's the parents' fault. They don't want them to get. Yeah, they don't want them to get the accent or not learn Spanish quickly and be different.
Just more Americanized.
I'm glad my parents taught me Spanish. Like my dad had a belt in one hand and a book in the other. You know, like you better learn this shit. You know? So that's the one thing I thank him for. But yeah.
That's a good feel.
Yeah. Yeah, my great grandfather moved over from Greece and worked his way across Europe before he came to Ellis Island, and he learned 11 languages. And then he moved to LA and lived there. And he refused to teach any of his kids, my grandmother, any language other than English because they were American, and that's all they needed. So another fun fact: I just had my DNA test, and I had 0 Greek in my blood. So who knows what's going on there?
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. So anyway,
right, first of all, that's a waste of time learning all those languages then. And
actually, what he was, he worked at the Brown Derby in LA, which was he was a maitre d' for all the Hollywood people in the 1920s. And back then, they were all very aristocratic, so they actually loved him quite a bit because he could speak so many different languages. So it did.
Yeah. So why not teach the language? Oh my God, what a dick!
Yeah.
In the balls.
Yeah. Yeah. I asked my grandmother if she could speak other language when she told me that, and she goes, "Nope, he wouldn't teach us anything." So, yeah. Weird, eh?
Like I was actually learning Japanese for a girl when I was in college, and it wasn't worth it, so I stopped. So
I think you made a good call.
Watching anime and drinking sake doesn't really help, but
I know a guy that almost became a Jehovah's Witness because of a girl. So
Damn.
And then he would have really had to learn Japanese because they all have to do their missions somewhere.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we have a lot of Jehovah's Witness missionaries here. All speak Japanese perfectly. It's great.
Yeah, the door knocking. Maybe they stole your cat.
Maybe they stole my cat. When they're done with missions, they turn into couriers. Like, wow, really good at bicycles and delivering messages.
Well, yeah, they need a job that actually pays. Anyway,
okay, let's move on a bit here. Thank you, Elizabeth. That was great. Unless anybody has anything else to say, I think that's pretty much gone on, right?
Elizabeth, you're awesome. Yeah. I clap a lot like a Japanese person. So, Kevin, you can feel quite at home. You're like, remember that from Japanese 101. You just clap at everything.
Okay, Sonis, it's your turn. Ready?
Thank you. Yeah, rock and roll. All right, cool. So, growing up, we were homeless. Well, we weren't living on the streets. Well, technically, we were living on the streets. We lived in a car, so we were this far from living on the streets. My room was in the back, the hatchback. Yeah, playtime was difficult. Playtime was difficult. Have you ever tried doing puzzles at home when your home is a car doing 40? Almost done. Almost done. Eventually we parked in Florida. My best friend in middle school she lived the Tiger King lifestyle. She took me around to the backyard and showed me a cage with a tiger in it. And I say, this is amazing. You have a house. I felt bad for her because her house only had 2 doors and we had 5. A girl in her church, she and her family had an alligator wrestling theme park. Yep, she was professionally wrestling gators by high school. She had to go young. She had to go pro because if you don't go pro by 12, well, you're dead. Yeah, you can only be amateur once for about 3 seconds. They say strangers are just friends we haven't met yet. I say strangers are people who haven't let me down yet. Strangers are great. I wish I knew more of them. They are so good. I wish my ex had become one sooner. He was perfect till he opened his mouth.
Mm.
Most people have goals like to lose 5 pounds. My goal is to become a Buddhist monk. And the aim of Buddhism is to lose a sense of self, to achieve nothing and achieve nothingness. And for me, that's more like 175 pounds. My father believed in my journey. He always said I'd amount to nothing. Yeah, he's Jewish. I want to be Buddhist, so it kind of conflicts. He's like, make something of yourself, make nothing of yourself, make something of yourself, make nothing. Father was always harsh. Mother was more Gentile. I hate when babies stare at me in elevators. Because I don't know what they're thinking. Like, do they want to be rescued? Do they need to be saved? I so wished I had you. This lady's insane. And new mothers aren't insane, but they are a little different, you know, because they can't communicate without their babies. I get into the elevator. I'm like, excuse me, could you push the button for the ground floor? She wants to go to the ground floor. Do you want to go to the ground floor? No. We're going to the car park. I'm like, well, somebody needs to go to the ground floor. So please push the button for the ground floor because we need to go to the ground floor. And I can't say things like, oh, you're so cute. I'm going to take you home. Because I look like I would. Holding someone's baby is like valet parking their car. You get to test how good it feels, but you can't take it home. Go beyond 3 feet and it's a crime. Yeah. The average American family has 2 kids. So far, we've had half a kid. Well, we've had 4 if you spread it out across the 8 attempts. And people say the dumbest things to me, like, oh, Sinette, well, at least you can get pregnant. I'm like, well, Kevin, so you've been unemployed for 8 years, but at least you've had job interviews. You don't get paid for interviews. What's the rent? $1,400. How many interviews is that? And when it really irritates me when people say, you know, as a parent, I do this for my children and my children's children. And it's like everybody automatically thinks that they're trustworthy, good people. I can't have kids. So what does that mean? Everything I do from this point forward has no meaning? Why bother showing up to work? Oh, that's right. I haven't worked since COVID started. I mean, why bother showing up and living, getting out of bed? But, you know, and just trying to imagine, you know, it makes you wonder, like, what are your colleagues saying about you? Like, did you hear? Sinette can't have children. I just knew we couldn't trust her. It's the reality. It's the reality. Yeah. So there's, you know, growing up, you know, there's being poor and then there's feeling poor. Like being poor is easy. It's when no one's around, but it's when you're around other people, they make you feel poor. As a kid, all the cool kids wore Ked sneakers. We couldn't afford them. So I got Kmart canvas shoes, but we were so poor I couldn't wash them. I used to color them clean with the chalk from the church. I had no idea where I was going, but everybody knew where I'd been. I can only imagine someone stumbling upon my footprints thinking they'd found a crime scene. Oh my God, Dad, someone died standing up. Oh, Bill, it's so much worse than that. There were hundreds of them. Oh, yeah. But people say my life is good for comedy. And it is. It's good for everything except my life. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Yay. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Yeah. Well, I wrote some things down, but anybody else like to go first? Kevin or Elizabeth? I will go with Elizabeth first this time. She hasn't gone first yet.
Sure. Yeah, I'm ready to go first. First of all, I just want to say you've done a really good job of like taking like dark, sad things and making it really funny. So that you don't. It's a really hard balance to kind of maintain. To like not make everyone like feel bad for you. You know, you just go straight to the funny, and it really works really well. So I think that's great. Um,
Thank you.
then I thought of when you were talking about the puzzles, jumping around. Do you remember that? I wish I remember the name of the game, but there was a game where you put these little pieces like into this like thing, and then it popped up at a certain time.
Oh yeah, I
Oh.
never came into the Salvation Army, so I don't know.
The yellow pieces, like moons and stars and stuff.
Yeah, shit like that.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of that thing, but it was like concentration or something like that was called, I think. And you put all the little pins in there and you try to match
you
up
have
the
a
sites.
timer,
Yeah.
and you
Pop.
have to fill it up. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That would have been an expensive toy for living in a car.
Yeah, that would have been. Even if
But
it did
I
come
was
into the Salvation
thinking-
Army, it wouldn't have had the pieces. But then again, neither did the puzzles. I think that's pretty much why my mom kept running over speed bumps. So, because I'd be like, almost done, but she knew the pieces were missing.
But even like that's an idea in there. Like you were too poor to get that game, so you had to come up with your own version of it, or your mom came up with your own version of it. So you had puzzle pieces that would just, I don't know. It made me think of that game. I don't know if that's something that you want to use or not. Oh, the comparison to job interviews. Like, oh, that at least you got job interviews. Like, the comparison to that to like getting pregnant, I thought was so smart. I really liked that a lot. And yeah, I just thought it was really smart that you went with that angle for it. I really liked your set though, and I love your energy. You're great.
Thank you, Elizabeth. And it means I keep coming from you because I'm sure you've been on a long journey as well. And yeah, it's never a fun journey. I thought people would stop saying dumb things to me once I gave a TED talk about it. No, didn't happen. Yeah, so I was like, actually, that's the whole reason I got into comedy, into doing stand up, was to communicate about just the ridiculous amount of platitudes that people say, and around loss, which was yeah. Thank you. Thank you for seeing me.
Kevin, would you like to go?
Yeah, that whole, I don't know if you can call it self-deprecating. Just, I mean, I get it. Yeah, it's again dark stuff that could, if you say in a cheery voice, it's okay, it's funny. It's like wow, that's unexpected. I love that stuff. Like, it's either you go dark with a dark tone or dark with a bubbly tone, and it works either way for me. I don't know. I'm a simple man, but yeah, I wasn't thinking about the board game thing in the car. Yeah, that could be, or hot potato. I don't know. It could be anything that any type of game that that jumps up at you. What is it? Jack in the Box? What is that? Or that surgery game where you like
Operation.
You're not supposed to touch the
yeah.
sides.
Yeah.
It's like I'm always losing at this damn game because it's going 40 in the highway or whatever. Shit. So yeah, I don't know if you could any board game that does weird stuff, that could enhance that a little. But it was funny regardless.
Thank you.
Baby stuff. I don't know. I'm a black belt pullout master, so I have no idea. Or I always have $50 in my pocket. I don't know how much Plant B costs around you, but that's me. I mean, I'm getting married next year, so I guess I have to have kids now, but we'll see. But yeah, that was.
And
good.
once you find out at that point, then you think, all these years you spend thinking like, I got to pull out. And then you're like, why is this not happening? Like, seriously? Like all these years I've taken so many precautions and I can't get pregnant when I want to.
Right. That's what I'm thinking about now. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we spent our whole entire lives with fear of like, don't get pregnant. it's going to ruin your life. And now you're like, if you want to be happy, you need to have a baby. You're like, yes, I do.
Like I said, I'm 31. I have friends that have kids in high school right now. Damn.
They did it. You know, I wish people would have told me earlier, like, get pregnant before you turn 18. Like, if somebody had given me that message and been like, just do it, just because you'll be able to grow up together. By the time you're 40, you're going to have your own life. You have a second life. When you're trying to do this crap and you're like middle-aged and going like, come on, and like looking around thinking, okay, calculating, how old am I going to be when they get to high school? I'm going to be dead. And every woman in my family lives into their 90s, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be dead. Like,
I had a kid young. I'm when I was 22, I had a kid. So my kid's now 23, my oldest son. But yeah, I don't know.
Isn't it great? You have a whole entire second life to yourself.
Well, that's the one thing. It will be cool because my youngest is 13. When she'll be pretty much moved out of the house by the time I'm 50. So I literally can just go do whatever I want to the rest of my life. There's nothing holding me back. Just me and my wife can just go and do things. So, but yeah, I've been counting the days actually. Counting the years. Good. Like, oh, every time my wife got pregnant, I'd do the math. I go, so when he's 18, I'll be this age. Okay. Because at first it was 40. He was turning 18 at 40. I was like, he'll be gone when I'm 40. This will be great. Then another kid comes. You're like, oh shit. Then another kid. So prolonged a bit, but yeah. Yeah. Sorry, Kevin. Did you have anything else to add, or?
No. That's it for me.
Oh, can I ask you a question? Since you're like king of pullout, that's so. I said that, but I'm literally quoting you. So that's what you said, and I will.
I said black belts. I said black belts.
Oh, I did not hear that. Okay. Had I known that, the karate is the empty hand weaponry. So, as a man who is not keen on having children at this time, for the listening to that set, like Elizabeth and I, we're on the same journey. How does that feel to you?
Okay, the babies in the elevators, I can relate. I wish I could like just punch it in the face, like it's weird. No, but I don't know. Babies look at me, they smile, they laugh. I guess they can't sense evil. No, I mean, I felt it. Like, I have feelings, So it's. Where's the proof? You didn't hear it. Did you hear it?
Proof.
They fucking heard you. Shut up.
He was trying to blame like the earlier dog barking sounds on his dad, but it was really not barking. It was
oh my god.
The dog barking was my house, actually. I think. So.
I'm sorry. What was the question again?
If you had anything to add. Oh, sorry. Sonus actually asked you a question about the babies in the elevators.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I mean, I felt it. I mean, I guess it doesn't really hurt me as bad because since I am a man and I don't have to live with that really. Mm-hmm. I mean, besides the fact that maybe I have no bullets later on in life. But right now I'm not thinking about it. So
thank you.
I don't know. I'll get back to you in a year, maybe. I don't know.
Okay. Thank you, Kevin. All right.
Well, one thing I'll say, just adding on to that too, I actually related a lot with you because I grew up quite poor from a big family and everything. And I had a joke that you reminded me of was I was so poor growing up. The rich kids were actually just middle class kids. That's one of the jokes I once said. But yeah, I was like, but I related with it pretty good. And I did like your the puzzle in the car, like everybody's talking about. The Twister. I thought of Twister. I also thought of Connect 4. I thought Twister would be funny because you're just forced into it because she's hitting so many bumps. I don't know. Just it's a thought I had. I did like the 5 doors. I got 5 doors. I don't know. And it opens up to the beach or something like that. Maybe I just crossed my mind or something like that. Compared. So, but I liked how animated you were. I wrote that down, and your facial expressions are really really into it. Like you're really into it. The one thing with the I didn't relate so much with the baby story because maybe I'm not in elevators. I don't really stare at kids that way, but not creepy like Kevin does. But not kidding. But like I thought it was like just when I was listening to it, I enjoyed your rhythm and everything with it. I just think you're going through things a little bit faster because you're jumping between characters and like if that makes sense, maybe give it a watch and like. But it's all personal opinion and everything, right? I didn't hate it or anything like that. It just I was just listening to it and going, man, she's really animated with this stuff. But you made baby voices, which was cool, and a couple different things I really enjoyed. Let me see what else. The footprints in chalk I liked a bit too, right? But I always thought the footprints, maybe you can go with a ghost. Like maybe someone thinks a ghost is around here or something like that, rather than a crime scene sort of thing. But yeah, like tracking out like a Scooby Doo. You've turned into Scooby Doo all of a sudden, or something they're following it through. But yeah. Anyways, those are some thoughts I had. One thing I want to ask Kevin. So if you're the king of pullout, as Sona's put, who wears the crown? That's what I want to know.
I said black belt.
Yeah, I'm joking. I'm joking.
I swear I heard King. That's what I heard. We're gonna have to go back and rewatch the tape because
Yeah.
Maybe it was.
Yeah, it's okay. It's more fun to tease him on the other way though.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, thank you, Sona.
Girl, the white belt.
I missed it. I missed it entirely.
It's so fun. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, good job. Okay, so I guess I'll just do my little thing, and I did not prepare at all. So I'll have to look, and I was debating on what to do here because I had some similar stuff you guys were talking about. But I think I'm going to go back because I want to do a different variation of one of my jokes. I'm not timing myself. I'm sorry. One thing, I've lost 80 pounds in the last year. You know, yeah. And a friend of mine told me I was part of the itty bitty titty committee, which was absolutely shitty because I'm way too busy to be on another committee. You know. Yeah, and he said, not to be picky, Keller, but you're not just part of the itty bitty titty committee. You're a not so busty trustee of the itty bitty titty committee. Which is, let's get down to the nitty gritty. It's absolutely a pity because I don't have time to run another committee. I'm already, running the all girls Federal Bureau of Rural Squirrel murals and characters. Yeah. It used to be called and characters, but it's a little bit confusing. So they've actually just reversed it to the all girls Federal Bureau of Rural Squirrel murals. I mean, they allow characters. They're not kicking that out, but yeah. Anyways, I'm also part of the Anxiety Caused by Sobriety Society. What I'm really just trying to say, I'm way too busy to be part of the ABTDKB. That's what I'm trying to tell everybody. I tried a bunch of different diets going through, and keto is the one I've been on. And I always tell people keto's the prison fat people deserve. That's one. I like that joke. I don't care. But I tried a bunch of different diets. Like I was on the polygamy diet, where every day was a cheat day. I tried the reverse turkey diet. That's where you get baked all day, then stuff yourself full of bread. Yeah. And bulimia because it's really good for the abs. That's okay. Dumb kind of joke here. Okay, I'm going to try a different one if you don't mind. Here's something that just happened to me. I want you guys to know that I'm a cad. I'm an absolute cad, especially to my friends. Like I just can't go for I have to go for the joke every time. Like there's nothing I can do about it. They're going to get the joke. They're going to get the sarcasm. A friend of mine, his father just passed away, and I texted him, right? Like, hey, I know it's like to lose a parent. Hope everything's going good, buddy. Just let me know if you need anything from me. And he's like, and he answered really sweet to me. He's like, yeah, he was a great guy. I'm really going to miss him. That's what he said, right? And I just instantly got awkward, right? I was like, oh, yeah, at least you get to get all the stuff now. That's at least you get all the stuff. I tried to save it. I was like going through like, oh man, I'm just kidding. Hey, seriously, if you need anything from me, just give me a call if you need a laugh or anything like that. And and the funny thing about it, what makes me the cad, like I'm talking about, is that I could have deleted any of that. Okay, I had typed that all up in one big paragraph. I could have gone back and taken it back, but I just chose, yeah, it's still being sent, and I sent it to him, and he just gives me a cheers. That's what he did. So, anyways, yeah, I'll tell one last joke. A pseudonym is how people with cleft palates pronounce cinnamon. It took me an hour to write that joke because I couldn't spell pseudonym. Okay, that's what I have. So.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
That's the most that jokes ever worked. So.
You should end with that. You should end with that part for that joke.
Oh yeah, yeah. I got lists and lists of stuff that I'm just right now trying, and I don't know what to pick all the time. So yeah. Well, Sonus, let's start with you. You haven't gone first yet. How's that sound?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I love it. You're like the master of Dr. Seussian comedy. Every joke ends in calamity.
All right, I quit.
I find it easier to memorize when it's going that way for some reason. I don't know what it is. So
find it easier to memorize when it goes that way for some reason.
Yeah.
Says the man who moved to Canada out of treason.
I see what's happening here.
Yeah. No, I love your playfulness within your set, Keller. It's so clever on the wordplay and clever with the endings. And yeah, it's easier, but your mind works in a really unique way. So you can see how even in the beginning of the joke, the endings really change direction. And even though we have a feeling it's going to have a rhyme with it or something that's going to come with it, even with like a certain number of syllables and expectation, it's hard to predict where it's going. And I'm generally pretty good at catching like patterns of words and rhymes. And each time it surprises me. So it's not like just a punny humor. It's something different. So it's almost like I almost feel like I want to watch you with a backup band. I would love that, just even if it's not necessarily related in a musical sense or anything, just sort of having that sort of vibe with it.
Yeah.
I think that'd be fun.
I'll bring out a bass or something like that and see if I can get it going, just to put some bass riffs through.
You play bass?
No, I could play banjo and sort of a guitar because it's easy. So
yeah.
Kevin's shaking his head already. Yeah. So
yeah.
Nobody likes the banjo except for me. It's fine.
I love I think that's well, and Steve Martin, it worked well for him. My dream is to be the first comedian to go on stage, not as a guitar singing comedian, but a bass guitar doing comedians.
Need a stand-up one. Didn't who did that? They just did a documentary about him. The one-liner comedian from the 90s. Great. I can't remember. I can't believe I can't remember. Mitch Hedberg. He used to go up with a bass all the time in the background.
Oh yeah.
They had a bass playing. Yeah, I've seen him on Letterman that way. And I guess he used to do it all the time. He had just like this cool slow bass sound, boom, 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 when he did his jokes and everything.
Crap. Well, there goes my idea. Drat.
What was that, Kevin?
Where's the documentary?
It's coming out, but I just saw it coming out, but on Comedy Central or something. A channel I can't get or internet I can't get because I live in Canada. But I have seen him on Letterman do with a bass, someone playing a bass behind him, and I watched a couple things of his doing that. But I thought it was so cool. So I mean, jazz players did it, so you could still do it, Sonus, if you wanted to.
Yeah. So. And I really feel like that rhythmic would work for you. I think it would be really, really fun.
Yeah, I need a long cigarette. Long
You're so
joint.
fun and playful though, Keller. That's what I think is just really great character-wise. You just love it.
I like how you think it's a character.
It's not character. Like as in you have a good character. People are of character. Do I sound like I'm like Middle English or something?
Teacher, yeah.
You have a good character. He's a man of fine quality.
Yeah.
Check his teeth.
Thank you for the advice and everything. I'm going to move on to Elizabeth just to keep this thing going, if you don't mind, Sonus. Go ahead, Elizabeth.
I mean, mine's just gonna be short and sweet. I really love wordplay, so I really love your jokes because you have a lot of it, and I just love the way you play with language. That's it. It was really entertaining.
Yeah, thanks. It's all done by being inebriated by weed. That's what
Perfect.
That's how I write most of the things. Yeah, thank you. How about you, Kevin?
I had fun looking at your face while you're. I don't know if you were memorizing these things or
I
trying
had
to.
somewhat memorized, yeah, and I had
Yeah,
to remember it, so my eyes rolled.
it looked like you were trying to hold a fart in while you were saying all these words, the rhyming it and whatnot.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I think I would love to hear it in a more like a poetic version.
Mm.
You know, it's like I've been the only comedian at a poetry show for some reason. I don't know, but you know, the other people need to laugh too. But they all have that. Hello, how are you doing? My name is, you know, that slow. I don't know if I maybe heard it like that, it would be I don't know, like funnier. I don't know for me.
I'm picturing Who Married an Axe Murder with the "Whoa, man." Yeah. Anyways,
I love how Kevin is like the only comedian to show up to poetry night, and all the poets are just too polite to tell him like he's on the wrong. Do we say anything?
yeah. You gotta do what you gotta do though to get time, right? So I don't blame you.
Yep.
Most of my
laugh-
comedy out here is
Laugh at you.
well, that's the worst when I've seen people do that like in comedy places or whatever it is, of snapping at somebody. It's like, ooh, that's rough.
but mainly for me is I think you're moving too fast. You're talking too fast. I don't know if that's worked for you before, but personally for me, it's like too much going on. You know, I guess I have a short attention span. I don't know what it is, but yeah.
I think that for me, I just wrote it that way, and I never really tried to try different ways. I've tried it a bit. I have done it twice on stage, and it's still a pretty new joke that I haven't really worked a lot of kinks out. So, I mean, taking that advice is great because I'd like to try it different ways. But of course, with no stage time, how do you do it? So maybe I'll try that much slower next time I'm sitting on one of these and see how that flows and whatnot. So yeah.
I guess it helped. I guess because I was a musician, so I brought that to. I don't know. I brought that to. Well, maybe this way I'll say, or maybe this way I'll say it. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I never think that way. It's actually just coming off as much as I can and maybe natural. I'm not sure, but yeah, I never. It's funny. I was on one a couple days ago, and someone was talking about being very intentful of a character. I was like, "Oh man, I couldn't even tell." I never think about that. I never even. I just trying to say things that are making myself laugh out there to people, sort of thing, right? Yeah. We'll give that a go and see if I can slow it down. There's a couple times where I've gone really fast on it. I'm like, damn, I wish I slowed that down. So then I think I may. I will actually try that earlier joke. I was thinking about it. I will try that with music for you, Elizabeth. So it's So I think I will, and maybe it will develop into a little more intentional that way. So yeah, that's some good advice though. So.
You should make a TikTok for that.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, my TikTok. Yeah. All I do is find out I have a TikTok that I just kind of started and just check things out. And my 23-year-old son, I've learned some things I don't want to learn about him on that thing. So,
Oh, no.
yeah, it's I won't go there. Just something I have to do. So, well, I think we're pretty much all wrapped up, folks. How's that sound?
Yay!
Yeah.
Finally! Oh my god!
So that was a lot of fun, everyone. So even though we started late and we didn't have where is he? What's his name? I can't find him anymore. Bilal. We don't even have Bilal, but it's okay. He can come on next time. So, hey Kevin, well, how about you tell us where we can find you?
Damn. I go by Sarcastic Arepa on all social medias. I'm hosting a new Spanglish mic Thursday nights on Zoom. I've been doing a lot more Spanish comedy for some reason. I don't know. I guess the rest of the world needs white people telling them what to do in other languages. I don't know. But it's Sarcastic Arepa, social medias. I've actually been super busy during quarantine. So, I still work from home and do comedy and make sure my fiance still likes me. So that's that. So Kevin Escobar, Sarcastic Arepa. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, Elizabeth, how about you? Where can we find you apart from a closet?
when I'm not Harry Potter. I love that reference, by the way. Love him. So you can find me on Instagram at Elo Comedy. It's ELO Comedy.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. I was just
Yeah,
waiting.
that's it.
How long have you been doing comedy now for, Elizabeth?
4 years.
4 years? Nice. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, so, Elizabeth, are you still doing that outside stuff you're hosting, or is it too cold now?
I'm not doing Tiny Cupboard. I'm doing Cellar 77
Oh, okay. I still haven't
on
tried.
Fridays.
All right. Keep an eye
Okay.
on. All right, thank you.
Okay, Sona Stevens, where can we find you in Japan?
Anywhere that says at Soness Stevens. You can find me on Instagram at Soness Stevens. You can find me everywhere at Soness. And you can find me on the Stand Up Comedy Writing Mastermind. We just play in a very positive space. You bring broken jokes and ideas, and we all play just like we did today, brainstorming solid concrete ideas together, and it's free upon service.
Awesome. Awesome. So it's Sonus with 3 S's in a row, right?
3 S's in a row. I have to
Yeah.
double check that all the time too when I type it. I'm like, at SONESSST. Is that a rant?
I only know that because I put a J in between mine. So everybody can find me, Keller Reeves, at Keller J Reeves on all social media stuff. That's
Yeah,
pretty
I
much where
didn't
I
get a
am.
middle name. So it's like, what do I put in there? A blank space. I had at Soness for everything until somebody was like, what a great idea for a name. I'm like the only one in the world with this name. My mother. And somebody's like, this is a great idea for a name. Somebody actually took my name and made a cafe out of it in Japan.
Oh,
And it
wow.
was like Southern Japan. I'm like, wait a minute. They saw me on TV, thought my name was really cool. There's no Japanese syllabary that spells anything with double S's at the end. And they're like, we're going to name our cafe after her.
Wow.
Well, the rest of
Yeah.
us are jealous. I'll tell you that. So I can't wait to have a cafe named after me.
Yeah, I would like a percentage of those profits, yo.
Yeah. The one they name after me will probably be like the douchebag cafe or something towards that way. Who knows? I won't get my name on there. But yeah. So,
I think it's a bakery. Little do they recognize that I'm celiac. Thanks.
Oh,
Yeah, so we can't go in there and demand your money.
Exactly.
yeah.
okay, folks, we can chat at the end here. I'm going to stop the broadcast. Thank you, everybody, for watching. All you 0 spectators, but we had a bunch earlier. So hopefully we'll get some more people watching. Thank you to Kevin. Thank you to Elizabeth. Thank you to Sonus. And for me, thank you very much.
Thank you.